Hi folks, today it's an exciting day because it doesn't happen often that I can share a very big game-changing rumor, but I have some difficulties to share it for two reasons. First of all, it's a very big rumor if it turns out to be true. The second reason is that I'm still not 100% certain what to expect. So there is some reliable info we share today, but most of it will be speculation based on that info. And the basic info here is, to sum it up in very simple words, is that DJI is going to possibly enter into a more direct competition with Japanese mirrorless system cameras. And the info is that this will happen in a big event in September, so in 1 month from now. So as you can see from what I told you right now, that's the reason why I'm sweating right now, because if true, that will be game-changing for a couple of reasons. And I'm also afraid that maybe I'm wrong this time, so keep it in mind that I'm not 100% certain yet. But what I will do today is share to you the info I got and explain you how reliable those infos are, and also add some speculation on why I think this would actually make a ton of sense. So it's going to be a long video, so before we kick off, a quick reminder to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button to not miss any of the upcoming rumors, and also again like this video to help in the YouTube algorithm. As you know, I often do share exclusive first info about Sony, Panasonic and other manufacturers. As you know, I'm most of the time very reliable. I try to do my best to be consistent and give you some exciting news. So definitely subscribe if you want to know more about what's coming in September, October, November, because those 3 months will be very hot. Actually, first announcement will happen on August 28 by Sony with the 85 1.4 GM2 that has been delayed by 2 months. Should have been announced late June, but Sony had some production issues. But this is not what we are talking about today. We are talking about DJI. So I will kick off with a few info I got. First of all, the info I'm sharing now is coming from trusted sources. Trusted sources means those sources already gave me correct info in the past. So we can speculate they will be most likely right. It happens sometimes in the past 15 years, because it's 15 years and the rumors work, that trusted sources got it wrong because they misinterpret stuff, or maybe they get some wrong info sometimes. Never think that this is 100% reliable, but those are trusted sources. So if those rumors about DJI would have come from non-trusted sources, I wouldn't have done this video. Those trusted sources tell me that DJI is preparing a big event in September, which is not unusual for them, but usually they announce drones and whatever other stuff. But the sources think that this time they will announce something that is more of a direct competition to the classic Japanese manufacturers. As you know, Japanese manufacturers are dominating the mirrorless world, which means system cameras with a mount, most of the time full frame, but also aps-c and micro four thirds. Those are Panasonic, Sony, Nikon, Canon, Fujifilm and so forth. The only exception being Leica, although Leica works very closely together with Panasonic making most of the tech particularly on the L-mount cameras, less on the M-mount cameras. But definitely the market is very Japanese focused, which is also my opinion, if you think about philosophically, also limitation in terms of innovation. As you know, Japanese manufacturers aren't so good, for example, when it comes to software and connectivity. All the cameras they make are still too complex for the younger generation. And so I think that's one of the limitations why the market isn't selling as many cameras to younger people. And it could, that's my opinion. That's just a feeling I have based on my experience, but I might be wrong. But now let's talk about the DJI rumor. So basically they're saying big event in September, and there should be a product that is more of a direct competitor to the Japanese manufacturer. So I didn't get info about what product to expect. Of course, DJI already makes somehow competition model, a camera like, for example, the Osmo 3, which is not a classic looking camera, is competing against the vlogging cameras from Sony, for example, Fujifilm and so forth. As you know, Sony has the ZV lineup, but my issue with the lineup is that it's basically an old camera design adapted to a vlogging world, while DJI completely started from scratch with the Osmo 3 and made a camera designed for those kind of customers. And I think that's proven to be very successful. And so they are having some competition model, or at least models that eat some of the sales from those Japanese manufacturers. They also have already experience in the mirrorless world because they own the Hasselblad brand. So they have cameras like, for example, the X2D that are a medium format mirrorless camera and are very loved by those few that own it. That's a very niche segment because the cameras are very expensive, but the X2D has a beautiful looking body design and, in my opinion, also one of the best possible easy menu of any mirrorless system cameras. That's also a feedback I got from reviewers and people that own that camera. So I could see them using the knowledge of their Hasselblad medium format cameras and their software engineering and technology innovation to create a new kind of product. The sources didn't tell me if that new product will be more video focused or something more like a hybrid camera, something like the Canon R5 series, Nikon Z6-7 series, something like the Sony A7 IV series. So I don't know if this is going to be a very video camera only or a hybrid camera. That's pure speculation and very important info. The info I got is not from DJI sources directly, but from those sources inside those Japanese companies. They got wind, or they are afraid that DJI will launch such a new mirrorless, possibly system camera in September. So I don't know if the rumor is very reliable, because maybe they are getting wrong info or from their sources inside DJI, or maybe it's their fear taking over that makes them think that there could be a mirrorless camera. So that's why I'm also uncertain about the rumor, because I trust the sources, but those sources are not directly from DJI, so keep it in mind. But they are saying direct competition coming. When I heard the rumor, I said, like, why should I do it? They are successful with cameras like the Osmo 3 action cameras and such new kind of products that are very popular. So why should they make a sort of step back into a more classic photography world? After thinking about it, I think it makes a lot of sense. Now, if this is going to happen in September, I think they will change the market entirely. And I make a step back into something that is completely different. I live in the middle of the Alps and I'm a mountain biker. Because I'm a bit lazy and older, I'm using electric mountain bikes. So sorry, purists, but I liked my electric mountain bike. I start from my home in Merano and I have a range of mountains around me. And with the electric mountain bikes, I can go up to 3,000 meters in 1.5 to 2 hours. So I love that. But I'm very frustrated in a mountain bike range. The products are very fragmented and not so mature, particularly when it comes to software. And just recently DJI announced a new Aox system, make it available for every bike manufacturer. And the Aox system, if you look over at it, I'm not going into detail, is super innovative from the software point of view. Technologically it's on top, but the software is truly amazing. If you're interested, just switch over to the DJI Aox page, you will understand why this is amazing. And when I think about what they did with the DJI Aox, I can see them doing this also in the mirrorless world. Because in my opinion, like I told you at the beginning of this video, the Japanese manufacturers are too conservative when it comes to software and connectivity and usability. The real problem of the cameras are not the megapixel count, the frame rate and so forth. That's fine for the professionals, but 95% of the market is amateur, high-end amateurs, and not the super pros that have a ton of money. And most of the people find the cameras too complicated, too complex to use. And this is the main problem why the market is not really booming with the younger generation, except of, for example, the Fuji X100VI, which is very popular. But there are other reasons why those cameras are popular, the film simulations and so forth. And I think if DJI will enter the market, they will completely change that paradigm, that conservatism from the Japanese manufacturers. So now making a list of possible stuff, what we could expect, also based on what they did with the mountain bike, where they revolutionized the software. And I think the first thing they will do is a very easy menu. People that come from the smartphone era will quickly learn to use in 5 minutes. Then you can have more complex stuff underneath as a second layer, but the basic functionality will be easy to use, something where a 20-year-old that never had a camera before will go like tick, 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 and say like, yeah, that works. The image quality is better than smartphone. I will buy that. So I think usability will be perfect. Second thing that DJI could really improve is connectivity. As you know, no matter if you use Sony, Canon, Fujifilm and so forth cameras, you always have to transfer your images from the camera to the smartphone. And you know, first of all, you have to make the connection. That always takes time and sometimes still breaks. Then you have to transfer, it takes time, and then you have to edit the images on the smartphone, and then you can upload them on your Instagram, YouTube, or whatever TikTok channel that you have. This is simply way too complicated, and it really kills the market in my opinion. DJI should launch a mirrorless camera that has built-in connectivity, like for example electronic SIM card. So for example, you could have instant backup without going to have to download the images on your laptop or on your smartphone. They instantly go on a cloud, you know every image is there. The second advantage is you can instantly share it through apps on the camera. That, in my opinion, would be amazing. And if they have a sort of SIM card in the camera, you can do that. Of course, I would love to have also, that would be the third thing, app support. So you have Instagram, TikTok, backup apps, but possibly also third-party apps. I don't know if they will go so far, but they will probably more likely have in-house apps already available. So you shoot your image, you can edit your image in camera quickly, possibly with a film simulation, possibly even named Kodak. That would be nice to have Kodak Portra 400, for example, as a filter. You click the filter, you have the image, you click share on Instagram, quickly write a text on the camera. You can do this. If you have a large touchscreen, that would work perfectly fine, and the image would be online quickly. So you would have the advantage of the smartphone usability and connectivity, but a much higher image quality of full frame, possibly full frame mirrorless camera. That's my dream camera. I don't know if DJI will really throw all those features inside their first camera, but that's the current limitation I see in Sony, Canon, Nikon, and I don't think they will ever change that, at least not in the next couple of years. But if DJI would do that, then the others would be forced to change. My fingers are crossed that this rumor is going to be true, that we are really getting a mirrorless system camera in September, possibly full frame, possibly with instant connectivity and easy menu, and this would change the whole market. Of course, this is based on a rumor where I don't have 100% confirmation, so there's a bit of dreaminess inside my thinking, but I have an experience of 15 years. I talk to a lot of photographers, I have a lot of friends around me, they know what I do with those videos, with my websites, so they know it, and they all tell me the same thing, that having such a camera, using it, it's simply too difficult, okay? They're already big, which is the disadvantage compared to smartphones, so carrying it with you, it's a bit of a pain for the normal people. If you have to carry it with you, and then also it's more complicated to use, more complicated to edit and share the image, then for them it's done. So give them something new, something they understand in 5 minutes, and where they find some joy that you cannot find on smartphones, like the image quality, use of lenses that give you a certain look. And so if DJI is not doing this, then we probably have to wait 5 years before Sony, Canon, Nikon, or some other companies will do it. I'm excited about the prospects. I'm so excited that, just to be on the safe side, if this is really going to happen, I made a new website. You can see the name here. Please subscribe. It's a very basic WordPress installation. I didn't put yet a lot of effort, but I will from now on post every info I get on this website, of course also on this YouTube channel. I got also some additional info I still am working on. I didn't share it in this video. I will share it soon on this channel and on that website. So if you got some wind about DJI plans for September, if you can confirm this rumor that there is indeed something big in the mirrorless world coming from DJI, or if you can debunk and say, no, this is total BS, please contact me using this email address or using the contact form here. Please let me know in the comment system what you think about that rumor. And now I'm off for my daily hiking up to 2,500 meters with my family. I will publish this video while I'm hiking, so I will schedule it. And when I'm back, I want to see your reaction and your rants or your hopes, because I think this is going to be possibly quite an interesting game-changing moment for the entire industry. Or not? What do you think? See you soon.